Hi, this is Jim Katsoulis, and I want to share with you a quick technique that you can use if you're ever having trouble falling asleep, or if you wake up in the middle of the night and your mind's racing. This is a technique that's guaranteed to bring you closer to sleep, and ideally will help you fall back to sleep very easily and naturally. Now, a lot of times, I use hypnosis to help people create a change in how they feel. But one of the mistakes that a lot of people make is they think when they see hypnosis, they're only thinking the mind. They're only thinking the brain, right? What's the brain doing? Someone's talking to them and influencing the brain. But really, what hypnosis is all about is influencing the brain and the body. Okay, and that's kind of a cool definition of the mind, right? The mind isn't just the brain, it's the brain and your body working together. So with this technique here, we're doing both. We're going to influence the body primarily, but we're also going to use the mind to focus on what we're doing. And when you combine the two things, it changes how you feel in a moment, and it works as long as you're doing the technique. All right? So what we want to do is, it's very simple. It's just a breathing pattern. And in yoga, they call it a diaphragmic breath. And it's really, we call it a belly breath, whatever you want to call it. The point is this, that oftentimes when people are anxious or nervous, or they get upset, or they're mad that they wake up in the middle of the night, they get worked up, right? The adrenaline starts rushing, they think about tomorrow. But the problem is, ultimately, is they get worked up. And that's the opposite, on the spectrum of sleep, that's going the wrong way. So what we want to do is nip that in the bud. And the easiest way to do it is to focus in on our body. So what we do is we put our hands on our stomach, okay, and we relax the muscles in the stomach. Now what we're looking to do is we want our stomachs to move up and down. Now, a lot of times in our culture, we learn the opposite. We don't want to bring attention to our stomachs, so we kind of keep them tight, okay? But the problem is that reduces our breathing. So what we want to do is we want to relax the muscles in the stomach, and we want the stomach to move, okay? And it changes the complete feeling of your breath and of how you feel in the moment. Now, ideally you can do this with me right now. It's easier to do when you're laying down, but you can certainly do it sitting or even standing, okay? Now the idea, what we want to do is we put our hands on our stomach and we relax the muscles in the stomach. We relax the muscles in the chest, in the shoulders, in the face. Okay, very important. A lot of our emotions are actually tied to the muscles in our face. And so when we're anxious or frustrated or nervous, the muscles in our face are actually twitching in different ways. So again, what we're looking to do here is influence the muscles. It's relatively easy to do. So relax all the muscles and allow your breathing to become full. Full, deep breaths all the way into the bottom of your lungs, allowing your stomach to move up and down. Now again, this becomes hypnosis because it's not just the physical movements you're doing, but what you want to do is you want to place your attention onto your breathing. And I imagine it as if I'm surfing my breath, okay? Because you're not trying to control the breath, you're allowing the breath to go out, and then in, out, and then in. And that process keeps happening, and you want to make it as relaxed and as fluid and as rhythmic as possible. You see, so that's the technique. It's not just, let me take a deep breath. It's let me relax the muscles in my body. Let me allow my breathing become fuller and deeper. Let me allow my mind to focus on that feeling, that rhythm, okay? And that becomes what you're focusing on. Now, can you see how this is guaranteed? Because as long as you do this, and it's very interesting, because what you're going to have to do is remind yourself to do this, right? Because if it's not natural to you at this point, then you might have to remind yourself to do it. But once you do it, once you remember, and you put your hands on your stomach, and you actually do it, and you look for that feeling, that rhythm, right? That calmness, that fluidity of the breathing. The body changes and the mind changes. And again, along that spectrum of sleep, you start moving back towards sleeping. Okay, remember, a lot of people do the opposite. You know this. And if you don't know this, next time you wake up at night, think about what you're thinking about. Right? When you wake up in the middle of the night, notice if you're frustrated and mad that you just woke up. Right? And you start getting mad about how you haven't slept for the last week or the last, year. Right? So what we put in our mind, what we focus on, what our body is doing is literally what's creating the state of sleep or not sleep. And so this technique here gives you control again. Okay, it gives you back control to absolutely be able to influence your body and your mind and bring you right to sleep's doorstep. Okay, and once you get there, once you actually create that state, then really it's just about letting go. Okay, so I hope that you use this technique, because it's very, very effective, and the more you practice it, the quicker and easier it becomes. All right. Now again, if you want to take this deeper, if you want to really master using hypnosis to fall asleep, then again, check out my Sleep at Will program, because you'll get some self-hypnosis sessions that will also take your mind even deeper while you do this technique. And again, a lot of the sessions actually create this state in you anyways. But this is something you can do on your own. Okay, and you can do it starting immediately. And by the way, you can actually use this throughout the day as well. Okay, you don't have to bring yourself so deeply into relaxation that you almost fall asleep, but you can certainly use it to relax and let go a little bit more throughout the day. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a good night.